This thing is going to be, almost the size of a small capital ship when I'm done with it, because the wings are twice as long as a fuselage, guys. And, that's already a pretty long fuselage for a small vessel, just in and of itself. So, that gives you kind of an idea of the scale of this thing, when we're done with it. Things that can kill crops are lack of oxygen, heat or cold, temperature, or radiation. Now, in all three of those cases, if any one of those three things was causing these plants to die, my question is, why isn't the plants underneath the grow lights also dying? As you can see, these plants are just fine. So let's turn this thing on. Whoa, 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 whoa. That just got really hot. Hey everybody, welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival. I'm an Oldguy gaming, and today we're going to do the following items. First thing we're going to do is we're going to fix, or attempt to fix, our farming issue. And I'll show you what that's about here in just a little bit. We're going to completely scrap this first attempt at the Raider, the Cylon Raider, and I'm going to start all over again. And what I've been doing with this is I have been spending some time in creative mode, just off camera, trying to figure out exactly how I want to do this. This build has turned out to be a lot more complex than I originally thought it would be. And so there's just some stuff that I needed to work out and am still working on in creative mode before I actually build it on camera for you guys. That way, I'm not sitting here kind of hemming and hawing, and you guys are watching me do that. That's not doesn't make for a very exciting video. So we're going to scrap this whole entire thing, and we're going to start over once I have a pretty solid idea of how it's going to come together. And I won't know that again until I've finished the build in creative mode. I'm pretty close to finishing the fuselage. The front end of it in particular was really tricky to figure out. And it's still, it's still not really nice, but I think it's the best that I can do with the blocks that the game, gives us to work with. So I figured that part out, and I have most of the fuselage done. And then I got started on the wings, and then, have to keep working on those. So once I, have a pretty solid idea of how it's going to come together, essentially, have a blueprint for it, really is what it amounts to. Then what I'll do is I'll actually build it on camera for you guys here in the survival game that we're playing. In order to do that also, I'm going to need to build an actual construction pad for two reasons. One, this thing is gigantic. It just is absolutely huge. There are 3 or 4, I think, something like that, Cylon Raiders on the Steam Workshop, and I downloaded those and had a look at them. And the one that I'm planning on building is, dwarfs all of them. And, so this thing is going to be, almost the size of a small capital ship when I'm done with it. Not so much the interior, though the interior is going to be pretty large too compared to the ones that are currently available in the workshop. But, just its overall size with the wings, because the wings are twice as long as a fuselage, guys. And, that's already a pretty long fuselage for a small vessel, just in and of itself. So, that gives you kind of an idea of the scale of this thing, when we're done with it. And so, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to take it apart. We're going to build a much larger construction pad, and I'll probably just do it back over by the original base on the shore just because we have a lot of flat ground over there. The size of the pad that I need to make has to be, at least as big as this entire platform and then some. And, I can't use this one, of course, because we have other stuff up here. We have our hovercraft. We have our little yellow jacket stinger that we built on stream over the weekend. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, so let's get started with the farm situation. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos or streams, then you'll know that I've been having problems with my crops dying. And things that can kill crops are lack of oxygen, heat or cold, temperature, or radiation. Now, in all three of those cases, if any one of those three things was causing these plants to die, my question is, why isn't the plants underneath the grow lights also dying? As you can see, these plants are just fine. I don't know the answer to that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal off this area. And in fact, I think what we'll do is we'll probably take all of this up and replant it over here. And then I'm going to seal off this entire room so that it's completely separate from this room. Because the furnace definitely is something that could kill crops. It does generate a lot of heat, but it's quite a ways away from them too. So, excuse me, I don't know, how much that matters or not. So I'm going to kind of do an experiment. I'm basically going to wall this area off and then replant the crops and, see if they grow and what happens. If they die again after I wall this area off, then I still won't understand why it's happening, but at that point, we're going to have to do a farm elsewhere. We're not going to be able to do it in the underground base. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and take all this stuff up. We'll harvest those durians there. And we'll pick all of these up too. And we're going to redo these over here. And we'll move the light over. And see if that fixes our issue. Because I'm not doing really well on food. I'm not completely starving either, but oh, I guess I didn't have a full thing of those anyway. All right. I'm not completely starving either, but I should have a lot more, food now with, considering how far along I am in the game than I do at this point. And it's just because here again, my crops haven't been, I've had trouble with them. Now, I wonder too, do we have enough stuff to make 3 more of those just so we can have 2 full plots? I'm not going to plant the whole entire thing yet until I do this experiment and see if it's actually going to work for us. So, crop plots are here. Growing plots, steel, concrete. It's plant fibers that we need. We need 4, so we'll need 12. And plant fibers, let's see. I can make plant fiber now. Just have to remember how to do that. Because that's something they added in a recent update, which I'm glad they did, because plant fiber can be a pain in the butt to make. Here it is. So we just need wood logs for plant fiber. Do we have any wood logs? If I do, they would most likely be in the constructors, because wood logs aren't something I would typically store, because they're a base resource, right? Alright, I am not seeing any wood logs. So I guess what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go cut some trees down to make some fiber to make these other 3 crop plots. And, well, you know what? I guess we don't have to do that right now because we're still in experimental mode. I'm going to see if this is even going to work at all. So I guess let's just go with what we have here. And if it works, then I'll actually do all the crop plots and do it right. But there's no point, like I said, in doing it yet until we know for sure if this is going to work. Okay, so let's pop that thing off of there and put it over here. And it's going to go right up there. Okay, we'll grab some seeds. Well, actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's get the walls in place. So I'm going to put glass walls. Window blocks large. That's what we're after. And again, we're just gonna separate this whole area off from everything else. And if this works, I'm probably gonna have actually the wall here. And so I'll move the crop plots later. Whoops, wrong button. Actually, no, right button. Oh, damn it. That did not go where I wanted it to. So we'll pick that one back up. And I guess, yeah, we'll put the doorway by the elevator. So this will need to be just a normal size, and then we need to put a door there. Because we have to completely seal this off in order, for it to be separated from the furnace and all that kind of stuff. So, do we have a door? We have armored door. We'll just use that. We don't really need it to be armored, but since we already have it built, why not? So we'll put that there. So that should be completely sealed this room off now from the other room. Whoop. And we're also going to need oxygen in here now that I think about it. So tell you what, let's take this back down just because I don't want to, kill my tomatoes there until we get oxygen going in here, which means I think all we need to do is just put another ventilator in there. That would be my guess, so let's try that. And we just so happen to have another ventilator. We probably looted that from someplace, I'm sure. And let's put the ventilator, I guess, over here in this corner. Isn't that thing supposed to be spinning? See, that one's not spinning either. That's kind of weird. Let's take a look at... Okay, we got two ventilators. It says they're active. Yeah, it says they're active. I don't want to deoxygenize. And I'm just looking at... Oh, that's why they weren't. We had to turn them on. Well, the ventilators themselves were on, but apparently you have to turn them on in the building too. Interesting. Okay. So now we should have oxy in here. You know what? I wonder if that was just the problem all along. But here again, if it was, why did the plants under the grow lights survive? That's the only reason why I'm not, convinced that that's what the issue was. All right, well, let's continue on with this experiment anyways, just because, I kind of wanted to do this anyhow, separate the plants from the rest of the engineering room with glass. So we will. The only thing that we won't know for sure is if the glass is what fixed it or the oxygen is what fixed it. But I guess it doesn't matter in the long run. As long as it works, that's really all I care about. Now we can plant some seeds. Let's grab some seeds from over here. Keep all that stuff in here. Do I have any more tomatoes? I don't. Okay. Well, in that case, let's do some wheat. I suppose I could make some tomato seeds, can't I? Let's put these in here. And let's queue up tomato seeds. Tomatoes are, one of the most important crops. At least I think they are, because you use that to make the canned meat. The recipe for that is tomatoes is the only crop you need. Plus, you need, of course, the meat and the water and all that sort of thing. So I want to make a lot of this because this is really pretty much the best food that you can take with you up in space. And so that's the crop that I'm going to prioritize. But I'll plant some of the other stuff too. Let's put the door back. And so in addition to, well, how many tomato seeds is that going to make for us? Only 2? Okay. So 2 tomato seeds. Then I guess we'll grab some wheat. We'll grab some durians. Durians are kind of important too because you can use those to make, let's see, ratatouille and Dino Stew Royale. It takes pumpkin and durian, and that's really good food too. It's good food for the base. It perishes a lot quicker than the canned meat, but it's good to keep here and eat in the base. It's kind of like, meat stew is in 7 Days to Die, so to speak. So let's do pumpkins and durians in addition to the tomatoes, yeah. And then we're going to see what happens. And if this doesn't work, then like I said, we are going to have to move our farm to another location. So we'll plant those tomatoes there. Plant the pumpkins here. We'll plant some durians over here. And we'll plant some wheat here. Whoop. Okay, so time will tell if these plants will survive. So we will come back and check this later. I don't know if we'll be able to, see the results before this episode's over. Probably not, but we will check it as soon as possible. Another thing that I really need to do is I need to get going on, medical stuff. This is all I have for medikits. What does it take to make medical kits? Just even the small ones. We need alien plasma. See, that's the thing that I don't think we have that stuff on Akua. We definitely don't have the T6. We might have the ZR1 here. I don't remember. So that's a reason, one reason among many why we want to go out into space as soon as possible. Something just occurred to me too. I wonder what would happen if we did this? We took those off and put the other door there to completely enclose off the furnace. Okay? And so, we can still get to it like this if we need to. But now it's enclosed from the rest of the place. I wonder if that will help also with temperature. We could probably even experiment with that right now. So my temperature right now is 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Whoop. So let's turn this thing on. So it immediately jumped up to 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Whoa, 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 whoa. That just got really hot. Okay, but it's still 66 out here. I wonder if, Oh, no, don't open the door. I wonder if, it still heats up even through the wall. Because notice that it's 71 degrees if I'm standing right up against the glass. But as soon as I walk over here, it's 66. And then it's 64 over here. What is the heat in here? 71. I would think 71 would be an ideal temperature. Well, at least not a bad temperature for crops. At least on Earth, right? Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to assume that putting the wall up here is helping, but maybe not, completely blocking the heat. And we might even be better off to do the furnace from here. Turn it off and on from here instead of directly. It's almost like it gave me, a grace period of a couple seconds before the heat kicked in. That's what it kind of appeared to be. Okay, where would I find furnace? Let's just expand everything. There, and under constructor. So we could power it off and on from here, and that would be the safe thing to do. Is it still hot in here? Does it take a second to cool off, or does it just instantly cool off? Yeah, it looks like it instantly cools off, which doesn't make any sense, but whatever. We'll just pretend we have ventilation and it sucks all the heat out. Let's grab concrete blocks. We have plenty of those. And we're going to go build our construction pad. So yeah, we're just going to expand this pad here. We'll go out as far that way as we can go. Well, a ways anyway. And we'll also expand it that way. So let's get the drone out. Stand right here and lay some paddage down. So we'll use the control key and just pop it out. Guess it's not going to let me go any further than that. I'm not sure why, unless there's a range limitation on it, maybe? So we'll fill that side in. Yeah, there must be a limit to how much you can do at once you know, when you hold down the control key, which is not the case in creative mode. In creative mode, you can like extend it way out. And we'll fill this little spot in, and I think that'll be good enough. I'm going to move the turret out to the corner. And put it right here, so that way it's got good range on everything. Yeah, so hopefully that'll work and it'll keep us safe from predators. Yeah, so this will be our pad then, and we'll start our build of our Cylon Raider from here. But I think we're probably out of time today, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take apart the Raider that's back on the sea base, get all that material back, and probably have to do some more mining too, because the amount of steel that this thing's going to take to build, considering its size, is significant. It really is. So I'll probably do some more mining off camera too. You know, hit some more iron and get that stuff ready so that when the time comes for us to actually do the build, you know, we have most of the resources that we need to do that. All right, let's check our crops. Okay, everything's growing. So far, so good. But that doesn't mean, you know, the problem's gone away, because the first time I planted, everything was growing for a while too. So I think we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer and see how this turns out. I'm really hoping it'll work because, you know, it was my plan all along to have our farm in this room. So I guess we will wait until the next episode before we find out, you know, ultimately if this is going to work or not. I'm hoping it will. I'm hoping it will. So hopefully, you know, making this glass partition and also partitioning off the furnace, if in fact it was the furnace, and maybe it was, I don't know. That'll make a difference, and we'll finally be able to get some crops going. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the episode here. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, and if you haven't already done so, subscribing to the YouTube channel here. I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, I just want to let you know that I do stream several days a week on Twitch. I have a Discord channel that you're welcome to join up, and you can chat with me during the day if you want to, and I'm also active on Twitter. You can find the links to all of those places in the About section of my channel, and you should also find them in the description of this video. My streaming schedule is posted on my Twitch homepage, so you can see what that schedule is there. And I'd really love to have you stop by and say hi and interact during a live stream. All right, so I think that's it. Guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.